in the house of slaves, you shall have no other gods before me. You should always be remembering this. It should be clear and open. It should be worthy to hear that beating in our heart and to have it forever and to spread that word to the whole world and bring redemption and be the tools through which God will bring the redemption to the whole world. So I see Yahrzeit from Divrei Yeheskal from Shineveh. You see from Divrei Yeheskal, the Shineveh Rav was the Amud Emes. He was a pillar of truth. He didn't give up for anybody. He wasn't a respecter of persons. He did things 100% the right way. They say once he was by a tish, by the Chart of a Rebbe, and the halacha is, if you light the candles of Shabbos, you should also put the challas down on the same table if you want to move that table. If you don't want to move the table, or if it's on something you're not going to move, it's fine. If you want to move it, you have to put the challas down before Shabbos starts. Or else it's a base, a bastel dover, a mukse. It's a base for something which you're not allowed to move on Shabbos. And so they lit the candles on the tish and on the table. They forgot to put the bread down, the challas. And the chassidim want to move it, and they said, well, if you put a book down, you put the challas later, whatever, it's okay. The Rebbe said nothing to it. Alright, there are views like that. I'm not going to let that happen here. He put himself down on the table and wouldn't let them move. It's from that merit that we have some of the tzaddikim we have today who come from his influence. Satmar Rav, when he was a little boy, 9 years old, by his brother's wedding, the Shineveh Rav came to the wedding and he came to see him, and the Shineveh Rav was very impressed by his holiness. And his nephew, his brother, the Atzei Chaim, who was at that wedding, his nephew told the story, the last Rebbe, Ber Moshe, from Satmar and Sigurd, the previous Satmar Rebbe, he said when he was sitting Shiva for his father, the Atzei Chaim from Sigurd, he was his mother told him that Lorelena shouldn't not have done for this, that it took a long time for them to have children. They had two sons, the Reb Zalman Leib, who died in the war, and Moshe, Berach Moshe, the father of the present Satmar Rebbe's, and they had a hard time having children. They were told to go to a particular resort area, and they have natural steam from the ground, hot springs, and that this has healing properties medically, and it will help you to have children. And they go to, happened to be that the Divrei Yeheskal Shineveh Rav was also there at this particular place, and they went, let's go get a bracha from the Shineveh Rav, the big tzaddik, son of the Divrei Chaim. So he took off his gartel, his prayer belt, and he gave it to Rebbetzin to put this on. And then after that, they went home, and they had children after this. So everyone thought this because they went to the to the spring, and that the medicinal properties is what caused that they should have children. But they didn't. People didn't know it was the bracha from the Shineveh Rav that they put on his gartel, and that's how she was blessed. And he lived a transcendent life like this. Miracles can happen. So we should be worthy that Hashem should bless us in the merit of the Holy Tzaddik, Yeheskal Shaga, Ben Chaim from Shineveh. This is Yahrzeit. This is Chusik Lin Vaslemen, Neshama Shat Naliyah. And Torah learning should also be Schus. And it's Schus for us also that we're learning, remembering this Tzaddik. He was a person who was in tremendous learning and always constantly learning. He had a Seder, particular Seder, 9 hours a day, 3 hours of Gemara, Bekiyas with Tosfos, Rashi Tosfos, and then a 3 hours of Halacha, 3 hours of Gemara Be'iyim, and much more. And he spent 2 years in the Holy Land. He started the Tanzah Klois in Sfas, and they have a mikveh there. And these were all from the Yeheskal of Shineveh. And this was where he got the power. So the power comes from the Torah. It's that same fire that came down on Mount Sinai. I'm the Lord your God who took you out of the land of Egypt from the house of slaves. You shall have no other gods before me. So, we should, through keeping the halachas, we can attune ourselves and calibrate our souls, that we can hear that voice, the voice from Sinai.